So this time, what am I going to talk about? So, I remembered. So, hello everybody, I'm Richard Gon of Work to Live podcast version. So this time, what I'm going to talk about is, the title is Smarter People Wants to Work for GAFAM or GAFAM. The smartest people want to become entrepreneurs, about which I'd like to tell you some stories. So the conclusion. So I don't think it's necessary to tell you the conclusion because the title shows the conclusion itself. So the conclusion is you should create your own business systems or schemes so that you can create higher performances on shorter times. So I don't know whether it's necessary to tell you this, but actually, so most rich people are entrepreneurs, or most rich people are, for example, the president was not the expertise, but executives of some companies or of some huge companies. I mean, and so maybe there may be some people who run or who do business with small companies. Anyway, so. For example, so I told you GAFA. So I told you GAFA, which means the president of these GAFA companies are the richest people in all over the world. For example, so in the case of maybe G is Google and two A's are Apple and Amazon, and F is Facebook, which is Meta now. And M is of course Microsoft. So wait a moment, please. I don't know the current president of Apple. So not in the case of Amazon. So Amazon, maybe the current president is Jeffrey Bezos, who is Mr. Jeffrey Bezos, who is the founder of Amazon. And in the case of Google, the founder is Google. In the case of Google, not the founder is the correct expression is the founders are. So one which is Mr. Larry Page, and the other is a Russian person whose name is not Vadim. So not Vladimir. I don't remember. Not Jeffrey Bezos. Jeffrey Bezos is the founder of Amazon. Anyway, so I'm going to tell you the name of the other founder of Google. So needless to say, the founder of Facebook is Mr. Mark Zuckerberg, and I found the CEO of Apple, and he is Tim Cook. So I had him meet that years before Mr. Tim Cook had been the president or the CEO or the leader of Amazon. But actually, so I couldn't remember whether I didn't know whether he is still the CEO of Apple or not. So the past and M is also the person I don't know. So Microsoft, and wait a moment, please. Anyway, so maybe I should tell you. Not him. He's not the. He's not the. He might be the. Maybe this person is the president of Microsoft, and Mr. Brad Smith is the president of Microsoft now. And and I remember not the last person, or the other founder of Google. So the one person who is the one founder who is an American person named Larry Page, Mr. Larry Page, and there's a person who is a Russian person named whose name is Mr. Sergey Brin. Anyway, so so I took some minutes to explain or tell you the names of the founders of GAFAM companies. So anyway, what I want you to know this time, or what I'd like you to know this time is that, so if you think you're smart, so I recommend you, I don't recommend you joining GAFAM, but creating your own companies, which is what I recommend. Or so as I told you in the part of conclusion, so I'm going to, what I'd like to recommend is to create your own business systems or schemes. So so what as I have told you in past episodes, or maybe there are some episodes, or maybe better expressions that there are some past episodes I recorded in the past, talking about what recommending you becoming entrepreneurs for getting rich or becoming rich people or richer people. So that is because so what employees can get are not so huge. So of course I know the paychecks or wages paid for the employees of Google are really high. So so compared to the average wage of my country, or of the people of my country, for example. So so comparing the wages or salaries or paychecks of the employees of Google, we see average people. We see average wages of average people. Google people get, or Google people, or the employees of Google earn or obtain more paychecks or more higher wages than average people. So maybe not maybe. So even the employees working for some huge companies in my country, maybe the paychecks or the wages of those elite people working for huge companies do not earn as high paychecks as the employees of Google or the employees of working for Google. Anyway, so, but actually, so please think about if you know that, or if you can remember, or if you have memorized the income of, for example, Jeffrey Bezos or Mr. Bill Gates. So thinking about the incomes of those founders, so they had launched companies, or they launched companies in the past, which is so as a fruitions of the creations of their own business schemes and companies, they could become successful rich people, which is why I recommend you becoming entrepreneurs. So things are that simple. What I'm telling you is that simple. So of course, so you may think that so it's really difficult for me or for you to create companies like Microsoft, Amazon, Google, or now Alphabet, or Alibaba. It's also fine. Alibaba is also fine if you are listening to this episode, and if you are Chinese person listening to this episode. But actually, so what I'm recommending is not to create such huge companies. So of course, it's if you can create companies like Facebook, or if you can create, for example, companies, for example, Google's or YouTube's, it's fine. You can create companies like Alphabet. So it's also fine. But actually, so what I'm telling you is just to create something like blogs or YouTube channels, or so other kinds of businesses, like So what I'm doing is adult business. So I use some Japanese platforms, or I use some platforms of this country, or which is why, which is why. So I can't explain. I can explain to you how those platforms work. But actually, maybe it's really hard or it's really difficult for you to understand the systems of those platforms in my country. And moreover, maybe you are not be able to, or you can't use the platforms created by Japanese companies, because most of the listeners of my podcast are the native speakers of English language, or maybe American people are the majority of my podcast, or podcast listeners. So anyway, so most of you or all of you do not understand any Japanese language, so it's alright. So what matters is not how to use the platforms of this country, but how to what you have, what I'd like you to understand in this episode is that it's really good to create your own business schemes or your own business systems. If you find yourself smart. Not so most so why I created this episode is because some people find themselves smart, but actually such people want to join Google's or Amazon or companies like them. But actually, if for example, if you can successfully join, or if you can successfully become employees of Google's, it's alright. But actually, so what you become of is an employee or employees of a company, or of a huge company. So thinking about which, so I think creating blogs or creating channels of YouTube is much better. Thinking about becoming richer people, which is what I like. Thinking about becoming richer people, working shorter times than working in Google, working on shorter time than working on longer time in working for Google, which is what I'm telling you. So coming back to the original topic of this episode, I'm going to tell you the conclusion, only conclusion. You should create your own business systems or schemes so that you can create higher performances on shorter times, which is what I'm recommending this time. So that's it. Please, so keep it up. Please keep it up. Thank you very much for your listening. See you.